Welcome back, folks. Today being the last day of October, 31st of October 2015. Saturday, the 31st of October 2015. It's time to conclude the Dhammapada Sutra. It's a very small book. It's the summary of Buddhist teachings, or the teachings of the Buddha, or the wisdom of the Buddha in a nutshell. The last chapter deals with the Brahmin, or Brahmana, or holy man, the holy man or holy woman, if you may. Verse 383. For those who are watching my videos for the first time, I'd like to inform you I have several videos attached to this particular video. So try to proceed to the videos which I've attached to the websites attached to this video. Click on those websites and try to utilize the resources to enhance your studies or your understanding of these teachings. And if you have any question, feel free to contact me. My email address is c.aburime@hotmail.com or colorcollege@hotmail.com. Beginning the last chapter from verse 383, chapter 26, which is the Brahmin or holy man or holy woman. 383 says, proceed and sail across the brook. Renounce the pleasures of the flesh, Brahmin. Once you have accomplished the calming of the soul's occupations, you will discover that which is not subject to conditions or circumstance, Brahmin. Verse 384, a Brahmin who has advanced beyond the idea of things having two parts or things being naturally double. All the shackles of a seer of that caliber simply end, all ruined and no more. Verse 385, a man who is aware not of this coast, other coast, or both this and that. A man like this, liberated from all worry, absolutely free, that, I declare, is a Brahmin. Verse 386, concentrating, reflecting, without blemish, at rest internally, all duties done, not idle, not indolent, liberated from wandering and imaginary thoughts, and accomplishing the highest goals. That, I declare, is a Brahmin. Verse 387. In the day there is the glistening sunlight, and at night there is moonlight. A soldier lights up in his weaponry, and a Brahmin lights up in concentration, but always and everywhere, night or day, the Buddha lights up in his magnificence. Verse 388, a Brahmin is declared, Brahmin having abandoned vice and wrong actions. It is by devout conduct, by virtuous action that one is declared religious, and by discarding flaws, a man is declared advanced. Verse 389, a man should not attack a Brahmin, and a Brahmin should not rage or get furious. How wretched is he who attacks a Brahmin, and what a disgrace. And how wretched is he who rages or gets furious. As a consequence, how disgraceful. Verse 390, a Brahmin should control and guide his soul away from sensuality. This is the best thing a Brahmin must do. Pain and distress simply vanish in the precise degree that he discards or disregards any idea of damage or injury to humankind. Verse 391, a man who commits no evil physically or bodily, verbally or lingually, intellectually or internally, but is disciplined, self-controlled regarding these three areas. That, I declare, is a Brahmin. Verse 392, with profound respect, a man should honor the learned from whom he has acquired or gained the truth, instructed and expounded by the real Buddha, precisely the way a Brahmin regards the flames of an offering. Verse 393, a man is not a Brahmin just because he has tangled locks, or because of his ancestry, descent, or social class. One who has acquired the truth and is honest is surely a holy man, a Brahmin. Verse 394, Of what avail is your tangled locks, idiot? Of what avail is your dear hide? Internally you are distorted and confused. Your external is merely deceptive and hypocritical glamour. Verse 395. A man clothed in patched garments, sewn from old tattered clothes, from the waist mount, who is desolate, lean and haggard, with his muscles tough and firmly established throughout his physical structure, concentrating in solitude deep in the jungle, that, I declare, is a Brahmin. Verse 396. I do not recognize him as a Brahmin, a priestly holy man, who is regarded as such due to regular birth from a parent, normally the mother. Having personal material belongings, he is most likely full of conceit and arrogance. A man who dwells without personal material belongings and is free from clinging, that, I declare, is a Brahmin. Verse 397. Breaking all shackles, a man who is not bothered, not perturbed, but has eluded ties and attachments. That man, emancipated and free, I declare, is a Brahmin. Verse 398. A man who has broken both fetter and leather, straps as well as fittings for horse riding and restraint. One who has rid himself of the hindrance, enlightened, a Buddha. That, I declare, is a Brahmin. Verse 399. A man who tolerates blame, maltreatment, and fetters, unperturbed, not worried, but is blessed with endurance. Blessed with endurance. And that blessing is his grace, his magnificence. That, I declare, is a Brahmin. Verse 400. Free from rage, pious, honest, and most honorable, without greed, without hankering, cultivated and dwelling in his ultimate material appearance, his final worldly flesh. That, I declare, is a Brahmin. Verse 401. Precisely like drops of water on the foliage of lotus, like an ovule of mustard on a pin's fine tip. A man who is not bound or tied to the flesh and sensuousness, that, I declare, is a Brahmin. Verse 402. A man who has arrived at the end of his pain and distress, now in this world, in this place, existence, condition, etc., who has laid down the woes and troubles, freed, that, I declare, is a Brahmin. Verse 403. A man, or the man of wit and wisdom, deep in understanding, master of the paths of good and evil, having attained the highest goal, the greatest objective, that, I declare, is a Brahmin. Verse 404 is next. Closely acquainted with neither laymen or bhikkhus, that is monks or bhikkhunis, nuns as well, roaming everywhere without a dwelling place, having only a handful of basic necessities or requirements, that, I declare, is a Brahmin. Verse 405. Refraining from attacking or doing harm to sentient beings, living beings in general, at rest or in motion, inactive or active, one who does not destroy life or prompt the destruction of life, that, I declare, is a Brahmin. Verse 406. Unperturbed among humans yet perturbed, tranquil and serene among the rash and forceful, free from grasping among humans yet grasping, that, I declare, is a Brahmin. Verse 407. A man from whom craving, dislike and hatred, arrogance, insincerity and pretense have dropped off, like an ovule of mustard on a pin's fine tip, that, I declare, is a Brahmin. Verse 408. A man who speaks basically calm and composed, words of instruction and verity, blaming nobody in existence, human being or other sentient existence, that, I declare, is a Brahmin. Verse 409. A man who does not claim or accept anything on earth that is not handed to him. He does not steal anything. Lengthy or brief, grand or petty, in appearance, pleasing or not, that, I declare, is a Brahmin. Verse 410, a man without craving in this life on earth, or in the future life without hankering, released, set free, that, I declare, is a Brahmin. Verse 411, a man who is without clinging, free from bondage, and has been liberated by awareness and released from ignorance and the unknown, having moved swiftly into immortality or eternal life. That, I declare, is a Brahmin. Verse 412, a man who has at this very time and in this very place gone beyond the bondage of both vice and virtue, without grief, without flaw, chaste and holy, that, I declare, is a Brahmin. Verse 413, a human without blemish, chaste, holy, decent, moon-like, rid of pollutants, having terminated the pursuit of delights, that, I declare, is a Brahmin. Verse 414, a man who has gone beyond the deceptive, tricky, and unreliable mud of samsara and want of knowledge, having gone across and arrived at the other coast, reflecting and concentrating calm and still. In the soul, liberated from all unknown, tranquil and serene, not grasping any material or worldly thing, that, I declare, is a Brahmin. Verse 415, I think, is next. A man who at this very time and in this very place, renouncing the flesh and sensuousness, has taken to roaming without a home or haven, having terminated the pursuit of delights, that, I declare, is a Brahmin. Verse 416, a man who at this very time and in this very place, renouncing greed and hankering, has taken to roaming without a home, roaming without a home or haven, having terminated the pursuit of delights, that, I declare, is a Brahmin. Verse 417, a man who has renounced all attachments, ties, and shackles of humanity, and gone beyond the heavenly as well. Gone beyond the heavenly as well. Rid and free from all attachments, all ties, and shackles, that, I declare, is a Brahmin. Verse 418, a man who has renounced delight and disgust, is placid and rid of all longing that once lingered. The grand conqueror who has subdued all existence, the entire universe, that, I declare, is a Brahmin. Verse 419, a man who has observed the departure and reincarnation of all the living, rid of grasping and attachment, beatific and alert, that, I declare, is a Brahmin. Verse 420, a man whose way is mysterious, obscure, and practically unknown to both human and spiritual beings, and even the gods, their vows, that is, who has terminated all wandering and imaginary thoughts, exemplary and exceptional in holiness, that, I declare, is a Brahmin. Verse 421, a man without personal belongings in the past, in the future, or at present, rid of belongings and free and having no ties and bonds, that, I declare, is a Brahmin. Verse 422, brave like the male ox, eminent and distinguished, celebrated, full of wisdom, and a great victor, a man who has achieved stillness in his soul, purified and alert, that, I declare, is a Brahmin. Concluding verse 423, a man fully aware of his previous existence and fully observing both states of paradise and damnation, and in the meantime he has achieved the termination of reincarnation, a prophet, authority of divine knowledge, both omniscient and omnipotent, that, I declare, is a Brahmin. And this brings us to the end of the Dhammapada Sutras, spoken by the Buddha. Namo Amitabha.